Maximus Analysis here for May 3rd, 2016 at the close, and we had another volatile type of session, meaning based on yesterday's price action, a lot of people, again including myself, would have said, all right, they're going to pop back to the upside. They grabbed all of yesterday's price range and took it all back. So now we're into this infamous type of chop that we are trying our best to avoid. And we need to see where they're going to open for tomorrow. So again, I posted these levels in the morning. You can check my Twitter page at @MaximusAnalysis, and I posted 2070.75, 2059.50, and 20.48, and it pretty much bounced between those levels. And we just have to continue to see where they're going to open. Are they going to open over 2070 tomorrow, or are they going to open below 20.48? Significant level that has been touched. Friday's low was 20.45, and it bounced 20.48 today. Let's look on a smaller time frame so I don't, you guys can keep me honest over here. But yeah, it came 20.48. Yep. So we got to continue. This is the 15-minute. We got to continue to see where we're going to go. You can see it touched that 200-day moving average, rolled a little bit. But where are they going to go based on this price action? So we'll continue to watch, but you have the levels. And again, to play this type of action, you either go to the aggressive time frames, which I've been stating for a while since the rip up. You want to go on a 30-minute, 15, 60, 120, or you want to go the exact opposite of go to a weekly time frame, or even look at a monthly and say, like, listen, some might say I'm never going to trade a monthly. Yeah, but it's going to keep things in perspective so that you can break it down to lower time frames. Looking at the NQ, we can see the same type of deal, but a lot weaker type of situation. So they need to hold this 2300 level, and a serious level for them to hold is actually the 2350 level, and then under that we're looking at 2058. Excuse me, why do I keep saying 20? 4258. And we got to continue to watch that, because again, the weekly time frame for the NQ is a lot weaker. You can see that this is already starting to break. Really, it's actually probably, if you sold last week, you already got 1-to-1. So this is in a lot weaker position. And we got price line earnings, I think, this week, tonight actually. So we'll continue to see how these things play out. YM we don't really touch much on, but again, they need to hold the 17,500 level. And you can see why. 17,500 to the 17,250 area is kind of where we need to kind of see where things are going to go. CL, kind of interesting here, is we see that they rolled pretty hard off of this. Well, not pretty hard, but again, we want to see if they're going to break below this low. We have EIA report tomorrow, which always makes, I always tell anybody that trades crude, if you're not in a trade by 9:30, 10 o'clock, at break even, just go play golf or something for the rest of the day, because it's just not worth trying to pick direction for the EIA report. But with that being said, we'll continue to look at it and see if it's going to break below this low. We see that, again, I posted it over on Sunday to say, listen, it's not a matter of being bearish, but lock in some profits. So they're just closing below the 200-day moving average, and we'll continue to watch this one. Now, before I start the equities, I want to also let you guys know, please comment on this if you have any names that you're looking at, so I can add them, and I'll of course give you a shout out before I say this is for XYZ name, and then we'll go into the analysis, because I think that basically helps people that are kind of on the fence of where they're looking, or what, gives a second type of opinion on it. Might line up perfectly, or it might provoke thought. The biggest thing is to provoke thought. So please leave in your comments or on Twitter, hey, can you check this out, so I can at least start helping some of the followers. But to start, we're going to start with VRX. And VRX on the daily, again, this has been sideways for such a long time, going sideways. Are we consolidating for some more upside move? So right now, you can see that they had some significant volume over the last 2 days. Okay, we need to hold a 29.31 level. Okay, that puts us right below this low. This is a sideways movement, but at least you could say at the end of the day, they are giving you some higher lows, a higher pivot right here, and then maybe using this to say, okay, This is the high. They got a little bit above it, so I don't know if they're going to squeeze breakout traders or they are in the process of squeezing breakout traders, but we'll continue to watch from here. But you want some good volume over 38. You want to get back above 38 and see if you could pop with some good volume. And the levels to look over 38 is 41.15 and 44.41. Okay, those are the levels that I would start looking to peel some profit off if you're on the long side. Again, you know your defined risk is either under this low or on this low, and you kind of take it from there. Okay, this is something that you're just going to be trading the retracement, and for now and again, if it comes all the way and fills this gap, you know, good stuff. But again, you just want to kind of treat it as this is what you're trading now. If you get a home run, which that would be a home run, you take it, but again, just look for something where you could be peeling off profits and not being too aggressive. The next one I want to look at is ACAD. And ACAD is setting up for something beautiful right now. Again, we want to see where the weekly closes, but they need to hold this $28 level. And the key thing that I'm looking at is actually the weekly time frame. You can see that they've gotten broke below 3 weeks back. So if they start increasing some volume and going down, I think we definitely have some additional movements to the downside, and actually have I like a pattern like this where you got all these lower highs in place, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 right here. So again, if I drew this correctly, you see that, you know, again, at the end of the day, it's like this or like this. You can see it doesn't have to be perfect, but you can see, again, we want to see how they close this week out for some continued action to the downside. So we'll watch the volume and see where they close this candle. Next, we will be looking at Tesla. And looking at Tesla on the weekly, you can see that they're pulling back, but they have earnings on the 4th after the close. So again, they look bearish right now, but we'll see what they look like after earnings, which that could throw things either way. High volume here on this move down, and again, we'll see what the true hands are saying, but we'll continue to watch and take it from there. Looking at the daily, if you're trading that time frame, you can see they're going to come test the 200-day moving average, and they did close below that important level we mentioned yesterday, which is 233.16. But again, the earnings are next week, so again, it could jump one way or the other. Last but not least, we'll talk about Amazon, and I'm looking at Amazon. Basically, I wanted to hold over this 650 area, and specifically 638.08. And the reason why is because after earnings, huge jump up, you can see the volume has gone to nothing. So that doesn't mean that it continues to the downside. We just want to see if it's ever going to break a low. What does it look like? Okay, so we'll continue to watch, and again, this is a longer time frame, but continue to watch it to say, okay, we have lower highs in place, we have some volume that they gave from earnings. Now what? So they're long in the tooth, but that doesn't mean that they break down. But on a break of a break and close below a weekly low, we'll continue to watch this one. So that's what we have going on for today. Again, it's very volatile times, and you can see here that, you know, not sure where these things are going to go in regards to the daily for the ES. And if you're looking at even the intraday time frame after hours, you can see, like, you know, we're kind of stuck in the middle of things at this point, but you still have lower highs in place. But is this pivot of 2052 going to hold? And only time will tell, and we'll know very quickly in the morning. So take care again, and see you tomorrow.